Hello, welcome to class today. Let's talk about physics projectile, the time of flight, the range, the maximum height to reach, and of course, the time to reach the maximum height. So how do you answer all of these questions when you come across them? So very quickly, I'm going to show you a very short method you can use to master the formulas for projectiles, and at the end, we are going to look at the questions. Do well to subscribe to the channel now. Go right there and hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well, so that you can be notified anytime we drop another video for your learning pleasure. So come with me. Now there are four calculations they can ask you to do under projectiles. The first, you could be asked to calculate the time of flight. And that time of flight is the time it takes an object, to leave a horizontal surface. The time it takes this object to be launched into the air and then it returns back to that plane, to that horizontal surface. So the time it takes to go up and return back is what you call the time of flight, right? And it's capital T. So, and the formula for calculating that time of flight is your T is 2u sine theta over g. 2u sine theta over g, where your u is your initial velocity, right? Then the g is acceleration due to gravity, and of course theta is the angle to the horizontal, and your capital T is the time of flight. That is that. So this is the first equation you need to reach maximum height, and it's given us, it's denoted as small t. The time to reach the maximum height is actually half of the time of flight. Is the capital T, which is time of flight, is equals to 2 of small t. So if I want to calculate my t, small t, I will just divide it by 2. Alright, divide these two sides by 2. And then my small t is capital T over 2. So if that is the case, the formula for my time of flight is going to be small t is u sine theta over g. So I don't need to add the 2 because the 2 has divided. So it's been proven that in a closed system is a system where there are no interferences, the breeze is not affected. When you throw an object, you launch an object up, the time it takes to move and get to the maximum height is the same time it will use to get back down to the surface on which it is launched, if there is no interference of air or breeze or any external interference. And that is so. If it takes 4 seconds to go up, it takes the 4 seconds to come down as well in a closed system. And that is what, so that means if it's taking 4 seconds to go up, another 4 seconds to come down, the total time of flight is what? 8 seconds. But the time to reach the maximum height is 4 seconds. So that's the relationship between time of flight and range. And what is range? Range is the horizontal difference or distance, horizontal distance from the point of launching this object. So if I launch this projectile object into this space, into air, the distance, the horizontal distance from this point to where it lands on that surface, that is the range. So this is the range, the horizontal distance. And it is giving us r is equal to u squared sine 2 theta over g. U squared sine 2 theta over g. You can master all these formulas so that a very simple trick you can use to recall all this formula. Okay, u squared sine 2 theta over g. And the last but not the least is maximum height. And the maximum height, h max, that is the maximum vertical distance covered. Okay, and the formula is h max is equal to u squared sine squared theta over 2g. U squared sine squared theta over 2g. This is equation 3 and this is equation 4. So these are the 4 equations. Now if you look at this, the maximum height, I told you I was going to give you a short tip to easily remember this. Maximum height, how many times can you find 2 in this equation? You see that you can find 2. How many times? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. I can find 2 3 times here. If I go to range, how many times can I find 2? 1, 2, only twice. If I come here, can I find 2 here? None. If I come here, can I find 2 here? 1. So the first thing you want to notice that the maximum height has the maximum number of 2's. That is, 2 is occurring 3 times at the maximum height. So what that means is this: there are 4 equations basically for your projectile. Out of those 4, one of it is not having 2 at all. Then 2 is occurring once in time of flight. So for time to reach maximum height, there is no 2 at all. Then time of flight, 2 is occurring once. Then for range, 2 is occurring how many times? 2 times. 1, 2. And then for maximum height, it has the maximum number of 2's. And that 2 is occurring 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. That is the first tip. The second tip you want to note is this. Start with this: time to reach maximum height, no 2. Then next time of flight, just introduce a 2 to this side, and that's what you have here. Introduce a 2, and then the next thing, of course, you know that 2 has to be twice in the next one we are talking about, which is range. So I will just tap these 2. I'll tap it up, pam. Once I tap it up, it comes here, all right, and then the second one goes here. I tap it twice, pam. The first jumps here, tapping it again, the second comes here. So you have u squared sine 2 theta. Now take note of this. How do you easily recall if this is sine squared theta or sine 2 theta? It is not sine squared theta, it is sine 2 theta. Why? This sine 2, you remember I told you the range is the horizontal distance. So the range actually combines the product of the horizontal component and the vertical component. The horizontal component is u cos theta. So this sine 2 theta mathematically, all right, sine 2 theta is the same thing as 2 sine theta cos theta. If you check your calculator, you confirm that in trigonometry, sine 2 theta. So this sine 2 theta is representing 2 sine theta cos theta. This sine theta is the vertical component multiplied by cos theta is the horizontal component. So when you multiply 2 sine theta cos theta, you can represent it as sine 2 theta. So that is how you know that for range, you have sine 2 theta. That is the only one out of all the equations where you deal with the horizontal component, which is the cos theta. Alright? So that is where you have 2 occurring down. For the other ones, the 2 is just raised to the power. So if you want to get for the third one now, of course, the 2 is raised to u raised to power of 2, sine raised to power of 2, and the third 2 will just drop down beside g. So time to reach maximum height is u sine theta over g. Then the time of flight is 2u sine theta over g. Then your range is u squared sine 2 theta over g. And then your maximum height is u squared sine squared theta over 2g. Now, with that being said, let us take one example. We are going to answer all of these questions using one example. So let's look at it. A football is hit with a velocity of 6 meters per second at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. Find A, the time of flight; B, the time to reach maximum height; C, the range; D, the maximum height reached. Solution. So the first thing you do is you write out the parameters given. Football is hit with a velocity of 6 meters per second. That means our u is 6 meters per second at an angle of 30 degrees. So that means our theta is 30 degrees to the horizontal. And so the first one says find the time of flight. Can you recall the formula for time of flight? Oh, good. The formula is T equals 2u sine theta over g. And that's going to be what? 2 multiplied by u, that is 6, multiplied by sine 30, divided by your g is 10, which is acceleration due to gravity, right? So, of course, sine 30 is 0.5. 0.5 means half. So, half, if I'm going to multiply this, half of 6 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. So, I have 6 over 10. So, my answer is going to be 0.6 seconds. That is the answer. 0.6 seconds. Take that again, sine 30 is 0.5 is half. So 2 times 6 is 12 times half. That is 6. 6 divided by 10, 0.6 seconds. That is the time to time of flight. Then my B says time to reach maximum height. And you remember the time to reach maximum height is given as capital T equals to 2t. So I'm going to divide by 2. I'll divide my time of flight by 2, and I will have the time to reach maximum height. That's going to be 0.6 divided by 2. So if I divide 0.6 by 2, my answer is 0.3 seconds. So that's the answer to. So C, range is what? U squared sine 2 theta over g. So let's solve that. So our range is going to be u squared. What are u? 6 squared multiplied by sine 2 of sine 2 theta means 2 of 30. Alright? That is 2 of 30. That's sine 60 over g. So our r is going to be 36 multiplied by sine 60 over g, which is 10. Which is 10. Now, what is sine 60? Sine 60 is root 3 over 2. Root 3 over 2. How do I know that? From my triangles, alright, if this is 30, this is 60 degrees, 30, sine 30 is 1 over 2, 1 over 2, and here is root 3. So my sine 60 is going to be opposite. The opposite to 60 is root 3, hypotenuse is 2, so it's root 3 over 2. Therefore, my range is going to be 36 times root 3 over 2, all divided by 10. Alright? So if I divide 36 by 10, my r is going to be 3.6 times root 3 over 2. And then 2 can divide this. I have 1.8 root 3. 1.8 root 3. So my r is going to be, so when you divide, when you multiply 1.8 by root 3, it's going to give you 3.117 meter. That is the range. And the last but not the least is the maximum height. And what's the formula for maximum height? H max is equals to u squared sine squared theta over 2g. So that's going to be what our u is 6. Our u is 6, so we are going to have 6 squared multiplied by sine 30 squared, alright? Sine 30 squared divided by 2 times 10. So that's going to be 36 times sine 30 is 0.5. 0.5 squared means 0.5 times 0.5. Answer is going to be 0.25 divided by 20. Okay? Divided by 20. So here, 36 times 0.25 simply means 36 times or divided by 4. 0.25 means divided by 4. So if I divide 36 by 4, I'm going to have 9. 9 over 20. That's the answer. So if that is 9 over 20, if I divide 9 by 20, I have 0.45. 0.45 meters. That is the maximum height, which 0.45 meters. 0.4, yes, 5 meters. 0.45 meters. And that brings us to the end of this question. So now I'm going to give you an exercise. I want you to go to the comment section and drop your answers there to show that you really understood this and you are ready for this topic in your exams. So the question is, you are going to have to calculate all of this, but now the initial velocity is going to be 4 meters per second. So here is a football is hit with a velocity of 4 meters per second at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. Find the time of flight, the time to reach maximum height, the range, and the maximum height reached. So just go to the comment section and type your answers, and I'll be back to check it to be sure that you understood the topic. Thank you for being a part of this class. If you enjoyed the topic, do well to subscribe. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe right now and share this video with your friends. Thank you. See you in the next class.